particular role, particular job, continuously we can be get something from those people. In that sense, we will consider a human or the employee also as a capital. This is most important source of the competitive advantage of the organization, especially if that particular employees are well trained and good, they are having good education, and also they are having a very global mindset about the global market and everything. They are having good knowledge. Then we can be maintain competitive advantage in the multinational enterprises. Therefore, we need to consider uh, basically our training and management development need to be considered our training and development programs based on think and act globally. Think and act globally. What does mean by this one? Actually, multinational enterprises need to think about and uh, prepare the employees by considering critical markets in the world, critical markets in the world, not just in that particular region. If we are able to develop our employees who is having good global mindset, then we can be maintain very good competitive advantage. Therefore, when you are going to be develop your training program, you have to consider this one. You are not going to be training your people for domestical or local needs. You are not going to be prepare your employees for by considering regional requirements. But you are preparing those people to globally. Think and act globally. Think and act globally is different than think and act locally. You have to understand that. And second, uh, you need to be provide that particular learning facilitation to the people about all cultures, not only for one particular culture. For example, you would think Toyota or Honda is having manufacturing uh, factories in Japan, North America, and Europe. Those are the most important areas of that particular company. But if you have developed that particular training program just considering only Japanese culture, Japanese requirement, etc., then you can't be use those people in other countries. Therefore, you will to consider your training program of the multinational enterprises. Uh, you will to consider give very similar training to every employee and focus on the global system, not its parts. That also most important. That also that means you need to be consider big picture of the global organization system, not part of the global organization. Big picture of the global organization. Fourth, develop global leadership skills. This is also most important, right? Because especially when we are assigning the people to work in foreign subsidiary, we are given or we are assigning them to the some managerial or executive positions. They need to be take good decisions. They need to be think about strategic decisions. They need to think or they need to take future-oriented decisions. Those are the most important skills belongs to the leadership. They need to there are some other skills also needed. For example, they need to understand about the human or the employees' behavior and everything. Those things also important. But your training program need to be focused to develop global leadership skills. What does mean it? The global leadership needed competencies different from those needed in the domestic or local marketplace. Right? For example, you would think one particular person is able to provide very good leadership skills in the army, but when he or she is going to be control the country, then he or she is unable to apply those leadership skills to manage the country. Like that. The business person who may have a good skills, leadership skills in the business sector, but he or she is unable to use that particular skills to manage the country. Yeah. Because leadership, the they based on that particular nature of the environment, your leadership skills also need to be changed. For example, your father is a good leader at your home, but is he able to manage the business organization by using that particular leadership skill? No. Up to some level, you can be applied that, but not completely. Therefore, we need to be develop global leadership skills for our employees and also empower teams to create a global future. This is also most important because today we can see majority of the cross-border and virtual teams highly used in by the multinational organizations. For example, to develop some projects or to get some problem solving activities, highly based on this kind of the cross-border and virtual teams. Therefore, we will to give more power to those teams to create a global future rather than controlling everything from the head office. Make learning a core competency for global organizations. That means today organization, definitely global organization, needs to become a global learning organization. That means you will provide continuous learning facilities, infrastructures to your employees. Then they can be developed more core competencies for the global organization. And finally, both the global organization and its individual members must cons constantly reinvent themselves. That self-development is most. That means when you are developing any training programs for the multinational enterprises or the foreign assignees, you better to consider these things. They should have to be able to think and act global. And also your learning programs need to be equivalent to every areas of the world. You have to pay as I have mentioned before, then you may able to get competitive advantage to your organization. You have to understand now global needs are rapidly changing, highly expand, but therefore you will to provide continuous learning facilities to employees. Okay. Then already we have discussed ethnocentric approach, polycentric approach, geocentric and regiocentric approach. You better recall. What does it mean by ethnocentric approach? Anyone can say what does it mean by ethnocentric approach? Ethnocentric? Hurry up. What does
So
it? Yeah,
it is basically staffing the people from the parent country
yeah, thank you
with,
very much.
with this.
Yes. Basically, those foreign assignees are getting from our our home country. That is we call ethnos. Polycentric means we are hiring the people from the where?
Subsidiary countries, yeah, our
Yeah,
subsidiary.
subsidiaries countries or the foreign countries. Geocentric means we don't consider about the any demarcation of the countries or region. Regiocentric means we are hiring the people from particular region. Then you have to consider these three factors also when you are developing any training and development programs for your international assignees. If you hired a person, or if you have been decided to assign a person from your parent country, you have to focus your training program on cultural issues or cultural initiatives. Is it? Did you agree with that one? Yes. Ne? Why we should have to be focused, highly focused on cultural factors or cultural issues? What do you think? Is it correct? If we are hiring a person from using ethnocentric approach, our training program must be focused on cultural aspect. Do you agree with that one?
Yes, we have to agree, sir, but we have to agree since he is working in a subsidiary
Yeah.
where there's uh, subsidiary peoples are recruiting from their country, not the parent
Yeah,
country.
yeah.
And
Because
but
it,
sir, we have to focus the percentage. Think about the employees there, the percentage we have to think, and according to that, we have to uh, give the training strategy.
yeah, 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 I agree with that one. Because, but in here we are using no ethno, just considerable. Only we use the ethnocentric approach. Okay. Then definitely when we are assigning a person from our parent country to work in the subsidiary, definitely we are going to be selected the skilled person. Skilled person. This is general rule. Ne? If we are going to be hired a person to assign for the foreign subsidiaries from our parent country, we are usually hired, hired the most skilled person, most skilled employees. Then he or she has enough skills to engage in the job, but he or she doesn't have a good knowledge about the cultural factors. Therefore, we were to pay more attention on cultural initiatives or cultural issues. However, that particular cultural training programs or that particular training programs need to be framework. You need to be determined the framework of that particular training program based on the roles and responsibilities of the training. Roles and responsibilities. If you are hired, if you are going to be assigned a person from your parent country as a CEO, then based on that, you better develop your uh, training program. Then the person who is going to be assigned as a general employee, for example, okay, like that. Then polycentric approach. Polycentric approach means we are hiring people from that particular country where is situated our subsidiary. Those people are having good knowledge about the culture because they are the born people of that particular country. They are knowing language, they are having good knowledge about the other cultural factors, cultural uh, issues and everything. And also they are having a good knowledge about the political situation and tax policies and etc. But they don't know about our company policies. They don't know about our company culture. They don't know, sometimes they don't know about technical skills needed for that particular job. Therefore, we should have to give that type of training to assignee we hired from that particular country. Focus to technology training and extensive orientation induction revolving around parent companies' culture, policies, and workplace values. For example, Dambu, Sri Lanka, they are having some subsidiaries in different countries, let me say India. Then when they hire a person from India, he or she doesn't know about Sri Lankan Damro organization culture, policies, values, and etc. Therefore, we will provide that kind of knowledge plus technical skills. Ne? Then geocentric or regiocentric approach. If we have used to get the people from by using this one, geocentric and regiocentric, we will to pay attention on give some training about our parent country, sometimes about the technological knowledge. Okay. Actually, in here we have discussed basically our training programs for the expatriate or the foreign employees who hired from that particular country. Uh, uh, Basically, we have two type of the training aspect, culture or the technical. And third one, we can say organizational culture and policies and etc. Like that. Then, if we hired or if we assign a person from parent country, he or she needs a cultural training. If we hired a person from this, that the countries where is situated our subsidiaries, they don't know about the our our uh, organizational culture, organizational policies, organizational values, plus technical skills. If we hire a person from by using regiocentric approach or geocentric approach, those people need that both. Sometimes they don't have a good knowledge about the. Give me 1 minute. Uh, they don't have a good knowledge about the technical aspect. Sometimes they don't know about our organizational cultural values and other things. Based on that, you can be develop your training program. Uh, and also, your training program need to base on what is the relationship between control mechanism using between the parent country and uh, parent company and subsidiaries. If you are having a good link, if you are having a good coordination mechanism between subsidiaries and parent country, then your training programs differed than uh, the countries that than the relationship is weak or less relationship between parent and subsidiaries. If there is any relationship between parent country and subsidiaries are highly controlled, having a good linkage, and also very closely established, then you can be used the very similar training program to every subsidiaries. For example, let me say global organization, ne? Global organization, Toyota. Ne? They are having a very close linkage between the subsidiaries and the parent head office. Then they can be implement or they can be developed very similar training program to every subsidiaries. Did you get that one? Ne? That
Yes,
means,
yes.
yeah, that means, but however, if there is a very weak relationship between subsidiaries and parent country, then you will to give more power to develop that particular training program to those organizations. That means domestic, those subsidiaries. Uh, they need because we don't know about what type of local, technical, and managerial issues are there. What are the other uh, environmental issues facing by those subsidiaries and etc. Therefore, you need to be provide the facilities to develop that particular training and develop program by those subsidiaries. Okay. I'm discussing about the training strategies of the multinational organization. Okay. Sorry, sorry. Uh, Something happened. Can you see my PowerPoint presentation? Hello?
We can see the
Ah, you can see this. Okay. And also, your training program development is need to based on what type of role and responsibilities belongs to that particular position. For example, just before also I mentioned about that, if you have been assigned a person as chief executive officer or to the top management positions, then you need to provide the leadership skills, management skills, and etc., decision making skills, and etc. to them. Yeah.
sir. Excuse
Uh,
sir.
yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
site number says that 30. I think
Sorry,
it
sorry,
go
sorry.
already go
That
down. Yes.
I am discussing some wrong. You can discuss it. Give me 1 minute. Okay. 30. 30 means this one, is it? No.
Yeah, yes, yes. We have discussed about this.
Wait. Let me. What now? What click the control and coordination linkage?
Yes,
You
yes.
can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Okay.
discussed about that.
Okay. Uh, then say, next one. The role and responsibilities of the position determine the extent and content of the training. Ne? What type of role? What are the responsibilities you are assigned to that particular person? Based on that, you will to develop your training program. When you are assign a person to work as a chief top management position, by considering that particular top management position, you need to be developed related skills to that particular position or particular job. Okay. Then sometimes uh, if you are assigned a person to work in the subsidiary to based on the research or sales and other positions, then you will to provide that kind of the training to your assignees. Then in here, uh, you can see some of the countries and their management styles and some of the business structures, teams, and etc.
Hey,
Based on that, you can
ada
be
mana guy?
develop. You may able to develop your training
Hari
program.
hari hari. Ah, ah, ah.
Uh, in here, you can see Singapore. Management styles, managers tend to be older. Managers delegate decision to their teams and expect it to be respected. Performance-oriented culture. Uh, Comparing to the other employees, majority of the managers are very old. Usually, they are delegating their decisions to their teams and expect it to be respected. That means you need to be followed those orders, or advice, and also a highly performance-oriented culture. However, those business structures are traditional family-run businesses are common. That's a family-oriented business. You will understand family-oriented business are different than the some companies like developing issuing shares and also hierarchical structure. Especially this hierarchical structure can be seen among the Chinese, Japanese, and Korean people. Okay. Always they are taking centralized decisions. Teams, group oriented, decisions are team ones and therefore success or failure is also team oriented. Communication styles, English is widely used. No is a difficult word. Disagreement can affect the harmony, thus no becomes yes, but it might be difficult. Humor is best avoided. Formal style. Everything is very formal. Women at workplace. Women have achieved much in the business arena, expected to keep a very professional, almost distant relationship with male colleagues. Eye contact should be minimal and proper distance observed. You see, these are the some issues in Singapore. Then when we are developing any training or development program, you will consider these factors. Based on that, you may able to get the good outcome. See in here, South Korea. Leadership is hierarchical and paternalistic. Consensus decision making in certain situations. Work and private are not separated. Very difficult to develop close relationship with these people. Centralization and vertical hierarchy. Informal structure exists within the organization, giving rise to internal power mechanism. Group orientation, loyal team players in ideal situations, communication styles, vagueness of meaning, vagueness of no means poor etiquette. Yes, I have heard you, not always agree. If you are talking with South Korean person, if they say yes, that does not mean they are agree. That means I have heard you. Such an overly expressive body gesture can be disconcerting. Women work as secretaries or in poorly paid assembly line positions, not treated at par with men in South Korea. I heard in some rural areas when they are enjoying their meals, males in a one place, females in other place, separate places, having for the meals. Then, as a human resource manager who is having the subsidies in Korea, South Korea, you would pay attention on these issues. China, management style tends towards the directive. Manager subordinates is mutually beneficial two-way relationship. Business structure, highly hierarchical. Operational structures, chains of command, management styles, etc., tend to be hierarchical. Teams, consensus oriented, individual needs and desires being sublimated to the greater good of the world. That's when you within the China, they have developed some teams activities, but that team activities based on concept of we or us or our rather than individual objectives. Communication style saying no causes both embarrassment and loss of face, very limited amount of visual body language. That's been highly context dual society. Women at workplace, officially women have the same rights as men in the workplace. Women are found in reasonably senior roles in large Chinese organizations. That's after revolution, Mao Zedong, ne? Mao Zedong, Comrade Mao Zedong, given that particular good opportunities to the female in China. Then again, you should have to have this kind of the idea or cross-cultural ideas when you are developing any training program to those countries. Japan, information flow from the bottom to the top. Sometimes uh, there are some different definition about the information flow. Some people say bottom to up, sometimes like a U curve from that particular information come from the top to bottom. Then bottom is given some ideas. Then it will goes up like that. That's then U shape. Senior management having a largely supervisory approach. The key task for a Japanese manager is to provide the environment in which the group can flourish. Business structure, the concept of lifetime employment is a myth. Actually, when we are discussing about the Japanese management styles, there are three pillars: lifetime employment, seniority-based wage system, and union industry-based trade union system. Lifetime employment means once you have joined the organization, you can work in that particular organization until you retire. But now it is changed. Hierarchically organized companies. Definitely you with respect to senior people. Group orientation and team working, because there is a big demarcation between senior and junior people. Okay, group orientation and team working. Hierarchy is based on consensus and cooperations. Then teams behavior, group-oriented teams, direct confrontation is avoided. Group members must be seen to be modest and humble. The group is a life-defined set of relations. Communication styles, what one says will not be what he actually means, because they are having indirect communication. Body language is very minimal. They are not more using hands or heads or like that. Always they are expressing what they need to say uh, as a words. Emotionless, emotionless and highly formal behavior. It is rare for any reaction or emotion to be visible. You're never able to understand their emotions or the reaction from their facial expressions. Women at work, there remains a strong unspoken discrimination towards women in the workplace. Very actually, there's a one particular reason, but later I will explain why Japanese organizations are not concerned female employees as a permanent employees. Expected to perform lower grade tasks and to leave employment upon marriage or the birth of children. Usually, female employees engage in getting the copies of the papers, print out, cleaning of the office, preparing a tea for the male employees, like that. Uh, in the big organization. Actually, the female employees are uh, not much concern as a permanent employees, because there is a one particular reason uh, uh, of the female employment pattern in Japan. Let me say the person who was the female person was graduated around 21 or 22 years old, then they can join the Japanese organization. Then they work 5 or 6 years or 8 years. Then they need to get married. Then they are resigning from the job. Now they married and they are having a kids. Now kids also grown. Now again they need to find a job. They need, because they need more additional income. Therefore they search in a job. Then again they are joining to the workforce, like that, joining to the labor force. getting a job as a part time or whatever. They are joining to the companies. Therefore, the Japanese organization also not much concerned female organization, female employees as a firm. Okay. Then I think you may be able to get some idea about some Asian countries, the structure of the business organization in the Singapore, South Korea, China, and Japan. Definitely, therefore, you need to, if you want to be a good international human resource manager, you should have to have a good knowledge about cross-cultural management. Cross-cultural management. That's most important. Okay. Uh, Now, let me discuss case study, what I have mentioned before, uh, because I need to. Can you see this one? Hello?
Yes, sir, you can see.
Yeah. You can see one particular case study on this screen, background information on the organization. Uh, this is usually this is usually say case study on international human resource management. Brand Hotels PLC owns more than 60 hotels throughout the United Kingdom. They recently acquired a small hotel chain uh, and chain headquartered in France. Brand's chief executive decided that half of the new hotels in France would be retained and rebranded as part of the Brand Hotels Group. The other half will be sold. This will support Brand's strategic objective of growing the organization slowly to make sure that new ventures are well supported and open on time on budget. Front hotels are considered budget accommodations. They are functional, clean, and reasonably priced. Additional information about UK hotel standard is available at that particular web page. Most guests stay for 1 to 3 nights and a combination of business and leisure travelers. The hotels are typically situated in downtown locations that are easily accessible by mass transit. Tourists are attracted to these hotels in popular visitor destinations where the many local attractions mean that they will not be spending much time in their hotel rooms. The organization has decided to use an ethnocentric approach and send some of their existing UK-based managers to France to lead the changeover of the new hotels and then manage them after they reopen. If this new overseas venture is successful, Brand may decide to acquire other small hotel groups in other European countries. The organization would like to own 150 hotels in the next 5 years. Their 10-year plan is to own 300 hotels across Europe. This is an ambitious target. So it is important that the organization finds an effective formula to operate successfully in other countries. Then you you will to read this thing. Okay. Uh, let, The organization has never owned any hotels outside the UK before and has hired a team of independent management consultants to advise them on how to proceed. They provide the consultation the following information during their initial meetings. A majority of their existing managers said they would like a chance to work abroad. None of the existing managers speak French fluently. They will allow 4 weeks to rebrand the hotels. The new hotel must be ready to open after that time. They expect to recruit large number of the staff for the new French hotels because more than 70% of the employees from the acquired organization left. They will require their managers to be flexible and move between countries if any uh, problems arise. Then actually today we don't have time to do this. But however, what do you think? Is there any person concerned this particular organization or hotel, brand hotel, need to assign parent country nationals to the France? Or who is thinking about that particular brand hotel need to hire a host country nationals? Or sometimes you can say you will to hire a parent country national as well as host country nationals like that. But however, you will to provide the good reason. You will to understand good reason why we need to hire only parent country nation, why we need to hire only host country nation, why we need to hire both parent country nation and host country nation, with the reasons. Okay, today we don't have a time to discuss these things. But however, uh, by practicing, by analyzing these cases or these scenarios, you can be you can be develop your good knowledge about the particular, uh, especially in the training and development aspects also. Okay. Uh, Later, I will hand over this particular case study to you. Then you get to read those things very carefully, and you will discuss or you will to analyze the situations and develop the answers for those questions. Okay. Today I will share that one. Okay. Then let me go back to the our PowerPoint presentation. As we have discussed before, uh, uh, sorry, before you were to understand other countries' cultural issues or cultural factors, organizational structures, and workplace behavior to develop organizational training and development. For example, in here you can see based on those type of the strategies, based on by considering those cultural and those kind of aspects, uh, when you are going to be develop any type of the training and development program, uh, what uh, how that particular training and development programs techniques according to the country's culture. You can see. Can you recall? We have discussed that of third model. Uh, uh, can you recall what does mean by breadth of third model? Anyone? अभी discuss करा. We have discussed that breadth of third model under OOB. No, weak uncertainty avoidance, power distance, feminism and masculinism, group and individual orientation. Can you remember? Hello. You will to consider those things also when you are developing your your training multinational enterprises training program. Let me share that one also. Are you able to recall that one? Kianugda? No. That after uh, uh, did a research by using uh, many employees. who is working in the multinational organization. Then he categorized the employee's behavior by considering five factors. Uncertainty avoidance. What does mean by uncertainty avoidance? Hello? Hmm? කියන්නකෝ. No. What does mean by uncertainty avoidance? No one is answer. Okay, uncertainty avoidance means some of the countries not much like to face uncertainties. Always they are trying to avoid uncertainty. Less uncertain avoidance countries. For example, USA high less uncertainty avoidance. Always they are willing to take a risk. Okay. They are willing to face challenges. But some of the countries, they are not much willing to face risk or unplanned or uncertain situation. Okay, like that. I am not going to be discuss those things, everything, and also power distance. Some of the countries having a big power distance. From the birth, we can see big power distance is existing in India, untouchable class. They are having some lowest caste system. Some people's categorizing in their caste system, untouchable class. From the birth, they don't have a power. Then they are having a big power distance between senior and junior people. They are having a big power distance between teacher and student. They are having a big power distance between parents and kids and etc. Power distance. But in some countries, we can see less power distance. There are no big power distance between teachers and students, between parents and children, nothing. Between senior and junior people, you will think about USA. Then you can see in here the high power distance index and strong uncertainty avoidance index. Top of this particular vertical arrow. Then down of that particular vertical arrow, you can say weak uncertain avoidance, low power distance. That means there's a less power distance, and also there is a less uncertainty avoidance. That means they are highly challenged. They are like to facing challenges and risks. For example, those countries are Denmark, Sweden, Ireland, Great Britain, New Zealand, this all European countries, majority of the European countries belongs to that. Weak uncertainty avoidance and less power distance. Right? But Guatemala, Greece, Portugal, Mexico, El Salvador, Belgium, that also the European countries, Venezuela, France, Turkey, Japan, those countries are having the high power distance and low uncertainty avoidance than the countries Denmark, Sweden, Ireland, and Western Europe countries. Did you understand this one? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, then uh, we can give training to the people by by providing experience or given direct instructions, given direct lectures to the people. When we are able to, or when we need to provide training facilities to our trainees by given lectures or given direct diverse, given direct uh, what we call instructions, that is called didactic relations. Didactic. But when we are able to give the experiences to our people by developing some group-based activities, that is we call experiential trade. Actually, what I am trying to explain here, based on these cultural values, our training programs also need to be varied. In here, you can see power distance is high and strong uncertainty avoidance country is top of the that particular line, and also bottom you can see weak uncertainty avoidance countries and low power distance countries. There's another vertical line that is discussing the didactic and experience. Experience means give some experience-based learning. Didactic means like this. We need to give some lectures. We need to give some instruction. We need to give some coaching and etc. That's a didactic teaching, a didactic learning process. Then training techniques, readings, panel, lectures, demonstration. You can see they are directly relating with the teacher is there, coach is there, someone is there, senior person is there, then given some lectures or some kind of things. But experiential is based on group activities, training groups. Fishbowl. Fishbowl means there are two circles. Fishbowl training, inner circle and outer circle. Inner circle doing some activities, but outer circle observing that particular behavior. Through that observe, they are learning what actually they are doing. Okay. Structured exercise, simulation, role plays, round robins, case studies, brainstorm, and actually, this particular research developed by these two people, uh, Taylor, developed by Taylor, is saying that when there is a high power distance and when there is a high uncertain avoidance, we need to use the didactic method to provide training. What are the didactic methods? Given training techniques like readings, panel, lectures, demonstration, etc. But however, if there's any country they have less uncertain avoidance and less power distance between the people, and then we can be use this type of the T groups, fishbowl, structured exercise, simulation, role plays, round robins, and etc. Through that, we can be give a experience to the people. Then what you can learn based on that great hosted cultural values. Our training methodology or training methods need to be varied between didactic or experience. Yeah, didactic or experience. That's the things what you can be learn from here. Okay. Then now we have learned many things about the training program development. Training development strategies, considering different factors, cultural factors, roles and position factors, short-term and long-term factors, and etc. There are many things we have discussed. Therefore, as a HR manager, when you are going to be develop any training programs for the multinational organizations, you will to concern about these factors. Based on that, you need to be develop your training program. But I need to say that's all. Okay. Actually, uh, sometimes we are assigning the people from our parent country to work in the other our subsidiaries for more than 1 year period. Then we call him or her as expert. Actually, expected success completely depending on how he or she is able to adapt or adjust to that particular culture of that particular country or particular organization, or how they are able to learn quickly, how they are able to learn those things. Therefore, we better to provide some support or help to those expatriates by providing training. Therefore, we need to be provided the cultural awareness to those people. And also, we are trying to make some structure or providing some guidance or providing some infrastructure to that particular employee to match or fit to that particular culture. We were to explain what are the similarities and dissimilarities between these cultures, between home country and that host country. Okay. Then they can be sometimes we were to there are different methods to provide this particular training. But however, you were to understand the why we are assigning expected to work in the subsidiaries to get the competitive advantage. If that person is unable to adapt to adjust to that particular subsidiaries or the countries, then definitely it will cause to expatriate failure. Then we need to think about how to reduce our expected failure by using training program. Then basically you have learned that expected failure based on different reasons. One is the spouse issues for the Western countries, or sometimes cultural issues, languages issues, and etc. Therefore, we need to be think how we can be develop cultural awareness or knowledge of that particular country's culture to our employees. Based on that, we can be develop his mindset to fit that particular country's culture. Definitely, you should have to explain these are the similarities, these are the dissimilarities of between that country and us. You can be provide different magazine or other books to him. Or you can be asked the repatriate or the who's completed that particular assignment and returned to home and ask that person to give some brief introduction to that particular person. There are different ways you can be used to give that particular knowledge. However, you will think how we can be give particular knowledge about that country among our employees. Okay. Therefore, cross-cultural training is most important. Cross-cultural training. Through this particular cross-cultural training or CCT, you can be increase the knowledge and skills of the expatriate to live and work effectively in an unfamiliar host country and culture. Cross-cultural training. I think you can be understand this. Basically, every training programs need to be addressed employees' attitudes. Employees' attitudes. Employee attitudes means what? Attitudes means what? We have learned that. Attitudes. Anyone can say what does mean by attitudes? No. That knowledge is gone. What does mean by attitudes? Anyone can try. No one is willing to say anything. Huh? Fatima, how about you? Do you have any idea about the attitudes? No. Are you able to hear me? Can you respond to me?
Yes, sir, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Okay. Anyone can say what does mean by attitudes?
It's a kind
Don't
of
say
a way.
akalpa. Don't say akalpa. What
Okay.
does mean by attitude?
It's a kind of a way of thinking or how
Yeah.
you feel about something.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Or sometimes we can say what is good or right. Ne? How do you thinking about something? Or how do you feeling about that one? Then we have learned attitude has three components: cognitive, affective, and behavior. Ne? Cognitive, affective, and behavior. Can you remember that one? Cognitive means that will provide some knowledge to you. Affective means that will cause to some change your feelings, uh, something that will help to change your behavior or action. We call that behavioral component. The cognitive, affective, and component. Cognitive component means how we are going to be evaluate that something. How we are going to be evaluate that something. Cognitive component, knowledgeable part. Affective is feeling part. Behavioral means action part. There are three components in your attitudes. Let me say in this way, uh, cognitive means by learning the subjects, then you are going to be develop or you are going to be change your behavioral pattern. That is cognitive. Effective means that particular commercial or particular advertisement addressed on your feelings. It is not directly attack to your knowledge, but instead of knowledge, that particular advertisement attack to your feelings. That is effective. This cognitive or affective, that's knowledge-based things. So the feeling-based things definitely cause to change your behavior. Why we need to learn what is the relationship between between this between training and attitudes? Because your training program or learning programs need to address cognitive, affective, and behavioral components. Otherwise, no meaning. Education also same. Isn't it? You are learning something means education. You are educated. Educate some, learn or educate something means those things finally need to influence on your behavior. They are need to influence on to your knowledge. They are need to influence on your feelings. And
ඇහෙන්නේ නැද්ද ඕකේ? ඉතින් ඕක කනෙක්ට් කරගත්තත් ලෝකේ.
දැන් තමයි කනෙක්ට් වුණා. හරි පුතේ. මියුට් කරන්න හොඳයි. Okay. Did you understand this? Your training program need to influence or impact on your trainees' attitudes. Otherwise, no meaning of the learning or training or education. For example, you would think about, you always I am saying that you would think some advertisement. A nice actress is saying, I am drinking this thing every morning. It will provide some power and something, energy to her. Definitely, we have known that she got money from that particular company and appeared on that particular advertisement. But next morning, if we have saw that particular item or product on supermarket, we will buy that one. What does mean it? That particular advertisement attack to our feelings. Even we have a good knowledge about that particular lady got money and appeared on that particular advertisement. However, that caused to change our behavior. Right? Until that we never drink that particular thing. Your training program, cross-cultural training also need to be influence or impact on our trainees' attitude. If that particular training program is unable to change your trainees' cognitive or affective or behavioral component, that is wasting money. Therefore, you got to understand that. Right? But the change attitudes means, as you have mentioned before, his thinking and feeling pattern is going to be changed. By using only one day, we are unable to change the attitude, but gradually we are able to change the attitudes of the people. Actually, through this cross-cultural training or CCT, we are able to get the good advantages to the organization. However, there are some disadvantages also. What are the disadvantages and disadvantages of the cross-cultural training or CCT? Merits: increased chances of success in global assignments, provides a comprehensive global perspective for the manager, instills a sense of confidence in the expatriate, foreign employees can be managed better, reduces culture shock due to exposure to the host country. You would recall what does it by shock, cultural shock. By getting this kind of training, we can be reduce that cultural shock, right, of our trainees or the expect.